Oh, you make me wanna talk back to you.
Mona here from Raw Strength. Um, so for those of you that don't know, I have a honors degree in B-Psych Sports Psychology as well as an honors certificate in mindfulness training. On top of that, I am an elite level weightlifter. I've been competing in weightlifting for over 21 years. I am a 6-time karate world champion and I am a CrossFit Games athlete. So, with my channel, I want to bring awareness about the mental side of things as well as the sport side of things. Kind of also create some perspective, talk about things that I have gone through in my career as an athlete, what I've studied, the theory behind it, and how you can incorporate this into your daily life. So today I'm going to be talking about inner chatter. And for those of you who have no idea what inner chatter is and if inner chatter is good or it's bad, it can definitely be a bit of both, just depending on what kind of voices you hear in your head, and if it drives you to be better, more motivated, or if your inner chatter is actually bringing you down and it's negative, and there's obviously you know you actually not performing well as an athlete, or it actually even increases anxiety, stress, worry. So the first thing that I'm going to be talking about is the type of inner chatters that you get. So the first one is the worrier, and the worrier is the person who constantly worries about everything in their life. They always have a negative connotation to everything. What if I fail? What if I hurt myself in this lift? Um, what if I just don't succeed? What if I embarrass myself? What if I put myself out there and, people think I'm a joke? So you constantly worry about the negative things instead of actually saying, what if I succeed? What if I put myself out there and I actually, love being on stage talking, if it has to do with public speaking? What if, I do that lift and, I break a record? So that is definitely the difference between being the warrior and using the what ifs to actually make it into a positive so that you actually perform better. Um, and with inner chatter, the thing that's very important is when you start thinking of these negative words and you have that negative inner chatter, the best thing that you can do is replace that with positive chatter, or positive, self talk. Or even if you have little mantras that you use, that could be just before you do your sport, or it can just be even in the morning when you wake up to help yourself be positive, be happy, put a smile on your face and make sure that you go out there and, tackle that day with success. It's definitely a big thing. And I think a lot of times, people don't recognize that they are dealing with negative inner self-talk. And I think the first thing, other than you having to replace that negative self-talk with positive, is you have to recognize that you are talking to yourself in a negative manner and that you are thinking negatively instead of positively. It's definitely also sometimes good to prepare yourself if something does happen. Prepare yourself for the worst, but if it starts to take over your mental side of things and you are only thinking about the negative aspects all the time, it increases anxiety, it increases stress, it decreases your confidence, and it can really have a negative effect and just start to affect not just you but the people around you too. So yes, that is definitely one of the main things when it comes to being the warrior. Now, the second part of inner chatter I want to talk to you about is the inner critic. So the inner critic is the person who constantly puts themselves down. They say, I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm not thin enough, or it could be any of those things, or I'm not big enough even. Maybe if you're in a sport like bodybuilding, or even powerlifting, or strongman. So the inner critic, it's almost about you just breaking yourself down, critiquing yourself, constantly comparing yourself to others, especially with social media. So you keep on looking at how other people are performing, how other people are looking, but you do not consider potentially that maybe that athlete has 15 to 20 years in the sport, genetics. Maybe that person has been working on their physique for many years. You don't know the inner struggles that that person is struggling with, and that is obviously the bad thing with social media. Obviously, a lot of times people only put out the positive. They don't really put out the negative things that have happened to them. So you see this person and you only see the positive, and you end up comparing yourself to this person without even knowing that maybe that person has gone through struggles themselves. So definitely the inner critic is not a good thing. You need to believe in your ability 100%. You need to know that if you have actually put in the work and you know that you are a dedicated and motivated person to be the best person or athlete you can be, you need to learn to believe in yourself. And the only way that's going to happen is, again, if you start recognizing these negative thoughts and you replace them with positive thoughts, saying, I am strong enough, I am confident, I've done all the work, I'm going to do my best today. Just all of those good things, instead of actually thinking, I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm not beautiful enough. And just putting yourself out there, because you might actually just surprise yourself. So recognize what you are thinking and then replace it. Another easy way of doing it is if you start to realize that you are thinking these negative things, you are thinking about yourself in a critique way, or you are the worrier, write down those negative thoughts and then write down how you will replace it. Because the only way you are going to change the negative to the positive is, just like you train your physical skills, you have to train your mental skills. So that is the main outtake from today's video, is you need to train yourself to have that positive inner chatter. It's not just going to happen overnight. Sometimes you have to fake it until you make it. So that's very important, to make sure that you are successful in replacing those negative thoughts. Firstly, guys, if you have liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you go to the link in my description, like I said, I have a huge background of weightlifting. You can go and subscribe to our rawstrength.com email list, and you can get yourself email course with 16 ways to improve your snatch and your clean and jerk. We also have our Raw Strength YouTube channel, that we talk a lot about Olympic weightlifting, and then also all the things that come together with Olympic weightlifting, like your Olympic weightlifting shoes, belt, the techniques, how to do certain movements, the do's and the don'ts. Yes, and also feel free to leave a comment below to let me know if there is any struggles of inner talk that you are experiencing, that you are dealing with, also how you have replaced it. I'd love to hear about it. I will continue to share my journey with you guys. Yes, and if there's also any topics that you would want me to discuss further on mental skills by Mona, I'd love to do so. So thank you guys for following my channel.